Yesterday, I did a video about a congressman from Nevada. I think I said in the video he's from Arizona, but he's from Nevada, Stephen Horsford. And he went off on the United States Trade Representative, Jamieson Greer, in a congressional hearing. And Jamieson Greer is now out there. He's like the chief representative to Donald Trump on this tariff nonsense that caused the markets to absolutely collapse under the weight of the terrible policy. And he's out there, a milquetoast individual. I mean, if you've ever seen white milk in human form, it's this guy. No, what do the kids say? No riz, no charisma, this guy. Anyway, he's making the rounds in the media right now because Donald Trump is not smart enough or capable enough or articulate enough to actually talk about his policies, the brilliance that is falling out of his head. And Jamieson Greer was on Fox News this morning, on Fox and Friends, being asked about the absolute devastation to regular Americans and what it's going to cost them as a tax increase, the thing that all the experts predicted. And Brian Kilmeade shockingly asks a question that actually would get to an answer if one was given, but one wasn't given. He asked him about they say tariffs are going to cost the American household $4,800. What do you say to those households? Now, in a normal administration, they would come with actual stats and figures and data, especially related to something as quantifiable as trade, as economically understood as tariffs and trade, and what the impact is going to be on everyday Americans. But not in the Trump administration. You can't expect data, research, science, any expertise to be brought to bear at all. Instead, it's just maligning certain groups and casting aspersions upon the motivations of others who compile data, who are experts, who are subject matter experts. We're going to get to that. We're going to talk about what his claim is. And then, of course, because this is what we do here, we're going to bring the receipts from the actual organization that he's maligning here. Watch this from just a few hours ago on Fox and Friends.
Companies.
But in the meantime, they say it's going to cost the American household $4,800. What do you say to those households?
Well, first of all, I would say with respect to those projections, a lot of those are Wall Street analysts who have a lot to lose themselves. In the first term, we put a lot of tariffs on China, and we saw similar predictions. Those ended up being wrong. Inflation went down. I think the economic fundamentals of our country are still very, very good. And while there may be an adjustment, I think we're going to be on a good path, and I don't think we're going to see that level of increase in household expenses.
Yeah, I know a lot of countries are still at 10%. So many of those products maybe we can buy from other countries.
A lot of those are Wall Street analysts who have a lot to lose. What would be lost from the tariff policy? Even if that was true, what you're saying, which it's not, what would be lost? I thought everybody's going to get richer. We're all going to be winning. Why would there be some groups that would have something to lose here in America based on the tariff policy? Jamieson, glass of white milk? What's your answer there, brother? The problem here is that it's not Wall Street analysts who have a lot to lose themselves. It's the Yale Budget Lab. If you're not familiar with the Yale Budget Lab, this is from their website. The Budget Lab at Yale is a nonpartisan policy research center dedicated to providing in-depth analysis of federal policy proposals for the American economy. Our goal is to bring fresh ideas and new methods so policymakers can make better choices. To that end, we have been building tools to analyze the fiscal and social impacts of government policies. Recognizing the need for comprehensive assessment beyond financial and macroeconomic impacts, the Budget Lab aims to fill a critical gap in policy evaluation, particularly focusing on the long-term effects of proposed policies on the economy, the income distribution, and recipients. And then down here they say, we're not just analyzing policies, we are building a better understanding of how they affect families over time. Maybe longitudinal. I don't know exactly how in-depth they're going here, but this is not Wall Street analysts who have something to lose, and so they're speaking about their own particular financial situation. This is academia, which, of course, is why the Donald Trump administration is going to discredit it or attempt to. So here are the key takeaways from the Yale Budget Lab, this nonpartisan absolutely credible organization that doesn't have some long record of being political bomb throwers. It's like the Congressional Budget Office. They're just calling balls and strikes. This is their key takeaways. Number one, the Budget Lab estimated the effects all U.S. tariffs and foreign retaliation implemented in 2025 through April 9th, including the revised April 9th tariff. Because remember, Donald Trump's little tariff fiasco lasted about 13 hours. He said it's going to be this, and then 13 hours later, he amended it, retreated, surrendered, backed away, and said, okay, we're not going to do that, but 10% across the board, and the 125, it might even be more now on China. 2, current tariff rate. Customers face an overall average effective tariff rate of 27%, the highest since 1903. This is only slightly different from where the effective rate was before the late April 9th announcement. Even after consumption shifts, the average tariff rate will be 18.5%, the highest since 1933. Where was the country in 1933? Somebody refresh my memory about the American economy, and by extension, the world economy, in the 1930s. There's a name for it. It's like the great something, right? Steinbeck wrote some books about it. Somebody should check that out. Overall price level and distributional effects. The price level from all 2025 tariffs rises by 2.9% in the short run, the equivalent of an average per household consumer loss of $4,700 in 2024. Annual pre-substitution losses for households at the bottom of the income distribution are $2,100. The post-substitution price increases settles at 1.7%, a $2,700 loss per household. Commodity prices. The 2025 tariffs disproportionately affect clothing and textiles, while consumers facing 64% higher apparel prices in the short run, apparel prices stay 27% higher in the long run. Real GDP effects. U.S. real GDP growth is 1.1 points lower from all 2025 tariffs. In the long run, the U.S. economy is persistently 0.6% smaller, respectively, the equivalent of $170 billion annually in 2024. 2 more, labor market effects. The unemployment rate rises 0.6 percentage points by the end of 2025, and payroll employment is 740,000 lower. The fiscal effects, this is the last point. All tariffs to date in 2025 raise $2.4 trillion over 2026 to 2035, with a $587 billion in negative dynamic revenue effects. Now, look, some of that stuff I don't fully understand. I'm not an economist. If you want that kind of a deep dive analysis from someone with a graduate degree, go listen to Pacman. He's the brain here on this kind of shit. But let me tell you, none of that spells good stuff. All of this was predicted. You didn't need an after-the-fact post hoc analysis here. All you needed to do was listen to the people who called it, who said this is going to happen, and then it happened. And it wasn't Donald Trump. It wasn't Donald Trump saying, oh, everything's going to be great. The market's going to boom after my tariffs. He may have said that, but, he's wrong. Anyway, Jamieson Greer, the glass of milk with the beard, wrong. Fox and Friends, wrong. Fox News, wrong. Republicans, wrong. Donald Trump, wrong. I invite you to this conversation on this Friday. You can click the comment section below and go at it. I'm sure we can disagree agreeably down there. Well, we'll see what happens. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Follow me on the social media. I'm at Dollemore just about everywhere. And if you want to help support this work, I would appreciate it very much. For $2 a month, you can click the join button below. If you have the means, if it's easy and breezy, $2 a month, become a channel member, or go to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I love and appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Have a great weekend. Be genuine. Take care of one another.